Week 14, review and final test information. Right, here we go. So there was a little bit of a delay whilst we found out exactly how the university wants us to do these final tests, but we now have that information and I will share it with you in this video. Exam fever. Okay, important information. So, as you, I'm sure, already know, the final test will not be offline. So, we thought that we would do the final test on the campus in the classroom, but no. We are not going to do the tests in the classroom. The final test will be online. Final test information. So when? Week 15, that is June 8th to June 12th. When exactly? It is the same as the midterm test. The test will be open during your English class day and time only. So it's very, very important that you are ready to do the test at the time of your English class. So let me just remind everybody, APE, Academic and Professional English 1, test day and time. So just make sure that you know when your English class day and time is. You should do by now. But those are the test days and times for Academic and Professional English 1. You need to be ready by your computer at those times. And I will share the link for the test on Smart Campus. You click the link and then you start the test. Okay, so it's just like we did for the midterm test. But this one, you will have more time. You will have 1 hour and 10 minutes. So you have much longer. Okay, so please make sure you know when your English class and time is. Test format. So like I just said, it's the same as the midterm test. I will give you a Google Forms link on Smart Campus, and then you will see questions which will test you on some grammar, some vocabulary, and some writing skills. Now the scores for the final test, which is out of 25, and also the score for the writing project, which is 20 points, will be available to students when grades are posted on the university's website. So after we finish all the testing and after I have graded everything, which will take a little bit of time, then I will be able to post your final grade on the university's website. And when you see your final grade, you will be able to see every score. So you can see your attendance score, your participation score, your homework assignment score, your midterm test, your final test, and the writing project test. Okay, so all of those scores will be available to see when you see your final grade. And I will give you an announcement about when you can see those. Okay, so what are we going to review? Although there might be some questions which contain material learned before the midterm test, the majority of the final test will be based on what we have studied after the midterms. Okay, so mostly we're just going to review what we have studied after the midterm test. We already reviewed that in the midterm test. We don't need to do it again. Okay, so actually that's good for you because there wasn't so much information that we studied after the midterm test. But this is what we're going to test on. Number 1, common writing mistakes. Number 2, effective 5-paragraph essays. And number 3 was unlock textbook unit 8. So those are the 3 things that this final test will test you on. Okay, so let's just go through each of those. So number 1 was the common writing mistakes. And very simply, just rewatch week 10 video lesson. Week 10 was the common writing mistakes video. So just review that one. And I actually told some of you, or a lot of you, to review that video before you wrote your final 5-paragraph essay. Okay, so just review the common writing mistakes. Those might appear in the final test. Number 2, the effective 5-paragraph essays. So review week 13 video lesson. There was a checklist of what an effective 5-paragraph essay should have. And then also review the week 11 video lesson, especially the part that tells you what each paragraph should have. So for example, you could have a look, you could review what does an effective 5-paragraph essay's introduction have. Okay, and this would be that slide. A good introduction has a title, a hook, background information, a thesis statement, and then introduces reason 1, 2, and 3. Okay, and then number 3 was unlock textbook unit 8. So again, just rewatch the unit 8 video, which was week 12. And especially you want to pay attention to the vocabulary relating to the unit topic, economics. So there were several vocabulary words that we looked at. And then also the last one there, understanding graphs and being able to interpret them in English. So I would review both of those sections, the vocabulary and then the graphs. Okay, so you need to be prepared to write short answers, 1 or 2 sentences, and longer answers, which would be like 1 paragraph. In the final test, there will be questions where you write 1 or 2 sentences, and then there will be questions where you have to write a longer answer. Now, the university has told us that we cannot use multiple answer choice questions. In the midterm test, it was all multiple answer questions, A, B, C, D. In this test, we're not allowed to use those. All of the questions must involve you writing something. So you will write short answers and you will write some longer answers. Let's have a look at an example for each of those. Right, so an example of short answer question. This sentence has a mistake. Rewrite it correctly. And here is the sentence. The writer said she enjoys changing fashion trends. However, I disagree. Right, so there is one mistake there, and you have to find the mistake, and what you have to do is rewrite the sentence correctly. So, what is the mistake in this sentence? Right, so this is actually also a common writing mistake. It's the incorrect capital H. So the correct answer would be, the writer said she enjoys changing fashion trends, comma, however, I disagree. So however should have a small h. That is the mistake. So you would rewrite the sentence correctly. And if you do it, you get the points for that question. Okay, let's have a look at a longer answer question. Finish writing this introduction using the title, hook, and thesis statement to guide you. Right, so the title, Stronger Penalties for Public Smoking. The hook and the thesis is already here. So it says, are you sick of breathing the smoke from cigarettes even though you are not a smoker? That's the hook. Smokers usually say it is their right and freedom to smoke if they choose. However, I believe the government should introduce stronger penalties for public smoking. Right, so that's the hook and the thesis statement. So what do we need to add to make this an effective introduction? Well, we need to introduce our reasons. We have the hook, we have the thesis. So what we need to do is to add the reasons. So here's an example of an effective answer. I have 3 reasons for my opinion. Breathing secondhand smoke seriously harms the health of non-smokers. Cigarette butts on the street look disgusting as well as cause environmental problems. Finally, smokers are often breaking the law by smoking in public places which already have signs prohibiting them. Okay, so that is what you would write. That would be the answer to complete this introduction. So this would be an example of a longer answer question. Right, so good luck. There will be 1 hour and 10 minutes only. Do not forget or oversleep and miss the test. Very important that you are ready by your computer at the start of your English class. I will give you the link, you click it on Smart Campus, and then you do the test. And this is the last task for this semester. And then when everybody's finished, I will message you on Smart Campus announcements in week 16 with information about seeing your final grade and scores. Right, so if you've got any questions about this, please feel free to send me an email. I am working my way through all of the work that students have sent to me, especially the writing project and the essays. Now the week 1 and week 2 work, I will get to that eventually, but that's at the bottom of the list. So don't expect any feedback on that for a little while, but I will try to reply to that after I finish grading the essays. And just review the parts that I have told you in this video. Don't worry too much. Just be ready to take this test on your English class day and time next week. Okay, that's it. Good luck.